Hi, I'm Kevin Cummings. At Investors Bank, we believe in helping our local neighborhoods and improving the lives of all we serve. We're a different bank that makes a difference for our employees, clients, and communities. That's why we're proud to support public television and the programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation.
This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Investors Bank, Holy Name Medical Center in Teaneck, New Jersey. Healing begins here. Guarini Institute for Government and Leadership at St. Peter's University. The Turrell Fund, supporting right from the start NJ. United Airlines. The Northward Center. And by New Jersey Sharing Network, dedicated to saving lives through organ and tissue donation. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and northjersey.com. And by Meadowlands Regional Chamber, building essential connections that drive business growth.
This is One-on-One. I'm an equal American just like you are.
The jobs of tomorrow are not the jobs of yesterday.
Look at this. You got this?
Here it is, man. Look at it.
Life without dance is boring.
I don't care how good you are or how good you think you are, there is always something to learn.
Do you enjoy talking politics?
No. People call me because they feel nobody's paying attention.
Our culture, I don't think, has ever been tested the way it's being tested right now.
Such a good question. High five.
Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. That was from the New York Theatre Ballet. We're joined by Diana Byer, founder and artistic director of the New York Theatre Ballet. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
What were we looking at? Describe that for us.
We were looking at the company of dancers, our principals, Stephen Melendez, Elena Zalman, Amanda Schreiber, and one of the great, for me, the great ballets, Anthony Tudor's Dark Elegies.
When did you get into and become fascinated by ballet?
I was 3 years old.
Come on, stop. Don't make stuff up.
I was 3
We don't
years
lie on
old.
public television.
But wait, no, this is what happened. I was this very chubby child, and the pediatrician said...
Prove it. I need a picture, but go ahead.
The pediatrician told my mother if I didn't do something active, I'd be an obese adult, so she took me to modern interpretive dance. That's what it's called in those days.
This is, can I say where this was in New Jersey? Trenton, New Jersey.
Right.
Trenton makes?
The world takes.
I just wanted to make sure. So you do this at 3, and what happens?
I just loved dancing. And, you know, I was one of those kids that as soon as I started, I knew that's what I would do with my life. I knew when I was 3 years old that I was going to dance.
What did you love about it?
I loved moving. I loved the music. I just loved jumping and turning and a lot with the music. I adored the music.
So starting the ballet, starting itself, how does that happen, theater ballet?
Well, theater ballet happened in 1978. I was 3, no?
Of course you were.
And it was because there were a group of us studying with the great Margaret Krask, and we had all come back from other jobs outside of New York, and we really wanted to work in New York. And some of the boys decided they wanted to choreograph. And of course, they wanted to choreograph a whole evening just of their work. And I thought, this is ridiculous. You're going to use the same dancers. Why don't you each choreograph one piece and we'll try and put on a show? And I said, I'll do the work. I'll do the administration work. And the first one was successful. And I said, OK, I'll do it for 3 months, but then find somebody. And it's been 39 years.
And describe today what goes on there.
We have a school, we have the company, we tour all over. We tend to go to smaller theaters that don't usually get something live. It's one of our missions. We also play big theaters as well, but one of our missions is to go into communities that don't get live entertainment. And I run a program called Lift Community Services.
Say it again, Lift. I want to talk about that.
Lift Community Services. It's a scholarship program for children living in city shelters or are otherwise at risk or can't afford any kind of arts training. And it's more than just dance. It's to give the children everything they need for good learning, not just for arts.
You know, it's interesting. I was thinking about this. Part of your job, part of our job here, on the business side, let's say, is securing the underwriting, the support, the financial support to make it happen. And we actually learned about you through our friends at Investors.
Yes, right.
Kevin
That's
Cummings.
our bank.
Yeah, Kevin Cummings is a great guy. But what I'm really trying to get at is, you're an artist, right?
Yeah.
You're a dancer, but the business side of things, the need to raise money, the need to manage that money, where did that skill set come from? Because we have to do the same thing here.
Well, I'm not sure how skilled I am. I do the best I can. I think that you do what you have to do. They would have thrown you out
if you weren't any good, but that's another story.
No, you do what you have to do. And I go out almost every night, meet and greet, network. And
you're schmoozing.
Yes, and we have organizations that like what we do. And I stretch a dollar as far as I possibly can. I'm very good at it. And I make sure the company has what it needs, and the children have what they need, and the audience has what they need. That's my job.
Go back to the kids. I'm fascinated about the whole idea, the whole LIFT initiative. What do you see in those kids when they're exposed to an art form they otherwise would never be exposed to?
Well, it's been proven. I mean, there's been tests done that it just improves their academic skills. We teach learning skills. You have to have learning skills to succeed in the world. And children are integrated into the regular classes, and I know who comes from a shelter, but nobody else does, so it's safe. They can just come in. I make sure they have the school uniform, that they have everything they need. And it's Stephen Melendez, who you just saw on the film, is from that program.
He is?
Yes, he was his second year. I've had him since he was 7. And now he's a principal dancer, and he dances all over the world. He was a finalist in the Nureyev competition. He was a finalist in the Clive Barnes competition.
That name. So what does that do for you when you see Stephen doing that?
I'm happy for him. I'm happy that I had a hand in his development, but it really was him. I just gave the tools. It really is the child. They just need the tools, and that's my job.
So some of them, I was going to ask you if some of them actually stay with it, and you just answered.
Most of the children do stay through high school, and I was really proud. This past year, we had 3 children graduate high school, and all 3 got a full ride to the first choice college.
I'd say you're pretty darn good at this.
And some don't do dance. I mean, one child came to me when she was 9 from a group home, and now she's in graduate school. She's the first one in her family to graduate high school. That's what the arts do.
It's, I think about it, even if someone doesn't go into, quote unquote, the arts, the ability to work with other people, to work really hard, to get through.
Yeah, like a loving discipline, and to know that their behavior affects everyone around them, and they get good learning skills. It's about education.
These are life lessons.
Yeah.
By the way, what can folks expect this season?
Oh, well, coming up, I'm very excited. It's Jerome Robbins' 100th birthday, and we're doing 3 of his rarely seen ballets at 92Y in March. And then after that, a dear friend of our company, David Vaughn, passed away. And he was the archivist with the Merce Cunningham Company. In fact, he was the first archivist in history. He kind of started that whole thing of having archivists. And we're doing a concert at Florence Gould Hall in April, and it's going to be David's favorites, and it's his favorite ballets. We're doing, Richard Olson's flying in from London to do a new piece in his memory on the company, and then we're doing some Frederick Ashton ballets, which he wrote the Bible on Frederick Ashton. So I'm very excited.
And a whole range of children's
and then we have children's performances coming up. We're doing the Alice in Wonderland Follies, which is really fun. It's like a vaudeville show for kids telling the story of Alice in Wonderland. It's by Keith Michael, who has done a lot of work with us.
It's very exciting. Diana Byer is the founder and artistic director of New York Theatre Ballet. She's been doing it for just a couple of years and getting better every year. Thank you so much.
I hope so. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Stay right there.
Thank you.
We'll be right back right after this.
To watch more One-on-One with Steve Adubato, find us online and follow us on social media.
We are pleased to be joined by our good friend Keri Logosso-Misurell, Director of the Greater Newark Healthcare Coalition. Keri, I want to thank you. You've joined us many, many times here on public television, but this particular time deals with this initiative called Right from the Start, NJ. First of all, before we talk a little bit about the coalition, talk about the importance of this campaign, this public awareness campaign, Right from the Start.
So Greater Newark Healthcare Coalition is a nonprofit whose mission is to achieve health equality for the residents of Newark. And Right from the Start campaign is about getting rid of inequalities and setting the stage for the best possible chance for equitable lives for children and families.
So let's break this down a little bit. The Right from the Start, excuse me, Right from the Start NJ is all about, I keep saying birth to 3, but it's really prenatal to 3.
Yep.
And giving those infants and toddlers every opportunity, right, to become what they can become. What inequities are we talking about?
So in the prenatal period in particular and birth through 3, there's a lot of brain development that's happening. The most in your life is happening in that critical period. And so you want to maximize the opportunity to create healthy brain development and brain functioning. But there's also another layer. Especially in the prenatal period, there's an opportunity to help the mom understand her health better and her stress level and her life and how she can be better supported to be the best parent that she can be. And that also has a positive impact on the development of her child.
What would it take? It's interesting. Some of this is about public policy. Some of it is about societal attitudes, but some of it is about parents themselves. Can you talk about the societal responsibility to help?
So I think the societal responsibility is tremendous. It's probably the most important responsibility we have because we want to unlock people's potential, right? So we want people to be, people want to be the best parents they can be. People want to be the best people they can be. So to me, the Right from the Start campaign is about giving people the knowledge and the tools to help them get there.
What happens if a 2-year-old, he or she does not get quality, consistent, impactful childcare? What could happen for that child? Because of economics, because of access, because of a whole range of reasons. What happens?
So when we say, you know, he or she is not getting the right or best child care, what comes up in my mind is things like healthy attachments, cognitive, education and learning things like vocabulary.
Social skills?
Social skills tremendously. And also related to social skills, there's a lot to be learned and modeled about self-regulation.
What does that mean?
So understanding emotions and what you're feeling inside and how that translates into behavior. So one example that's a free tool that we can teach children and adults alike that we'd all benefit from is breathing and mindfulness, things that, you know, maybe we shy away from. So
you feel stress coming on. You're starting to get upset about a situation. Not that that's ever happened for me here in public broadcasting.
Me either, right.
So what would one do? And by the way, what does that have to do with birth to 3? Go ahead.
So recognizing, giving children and adults the tools to know what that feels like. Is your chest tightening? Do you feel your blood pressure going up? Are you feeling frustrated?
Children?
Absolutely.
But what about for the parents?
Both. It's both. They're in
so
an
parents
ecosystem.
are watching right now, or would-be parents, right? Our executive producer here of this series, Jen, is about to have a wonderful baby, right?
Yes.
I'm stressing her out all the time with, you know, the things that I'm asking for and demanding and asking. It's stressful. She should be doing what? Learning to breathe?
That is a core strategy. It sounds simple, but undoubtedly.
What's the impact?
So it brings down your blood pressure, it calms you down, and now what we understand is it allows the parts of the brain to receive information instead of being in a hyper state where they can't learn, they can't think rationally, and they can't make decisions well.
And for a 3-year-old,
absolutely,
he or she can, model, learn, and
both.
Where would this happen? At home and in the child care center?
Everywhere. So that's part of what this campaign, what excites me about this campaign is it's...
Right from the start.
Right from the start is showing us that this is a multi-sector opportunity, and we all have a part to play, so there should be consistency from home to the child care setting in how children and adults are behaving and learning and growing together.
You know what's so interesting is, as part of the forum, we had 8 professionals, Keri being one of them, in our Right from the Start NJ forum. There's a 3-part series. Check it out on public broadcasting, on FiOS, other platforms, but also go on our website to see some excerpts. One of the issues that came up that you talked about, I want to talk about now, is screen time. Screen time, handheld devices, you know, the iPad. For us as parents and for 2-, 3-year-olds, which sounds crazy, right? What's the issue?
So there's no replacing human interaction. We know that now. There's scientific studies in interpersonal relating. That's different than screen time. And so we'd be better off learning strategies that are fun and engaging that don't involve screen time. So there's simple things, and Music Together is a great example, incorporating song into the learning environment, the home. It is. And it's being incorporated more now into childcare settings and should be expanded. Music, the element of music, is a great way to both learn, experience new things, and be together.
Final question.
Yeah.
You deal in the city of Newark, my hometown, brick city, if you will. It's a tough place, and there are an awful lot of folks who are living below the poverty level there now. What is their biggest concern, the greatest concern for their babies and toddlers?
I think this is a unifying issue. Everyone wants the best for their children. So things like access and quality and opportunity to childcare, to health care, to education and opportunity.
Are they, how fearful are that that they're not going to get it?
Very.
What does it do to people?
So there's a level of stress, unfortunately, burdening many people in Newark and elsewhere, but I'll focus because our work is in Newark, and people are disproportionately burdened.
Areas where people are struggling financially big time.
Right, and I would challenge us, that's not by coincidence. So there are systemic reasons and inequalities, as I mentioned, that create those burdens of stress on people. So that toxic stress has a cumulative impact on people. Toxic stress, we now know, is something real on the body, on the brain, on behaviors. It creates lifelong health consequences, premature mortality, and diminishes the quality of life for people unnecessarily.
You know, the term toxic stress, Dr. Arturo Brito from the Nicholson Foundation, one of our partners in this initiative, wrote an op-ed piece with Kirtland Fields from Terrell Fund. And he talked about this as a clinician as well. He used the term toxic stress. That's not healthy stress.
It is not.
It's bad.
There's things we can do about it, though.
Well, you're doing something every day, and I want to thank you for being part of this initiative right from the start. Jay, thank you, Keri.
Thank you, Steve.
We'll be right back right after this.
To watch more One-on-One with Steve Adubato, find us online and follow us on social media.
We are pleased to welcome George Resch, who is the creator. He's a meme creator known as Tank Sinatra. That's right, Tank Sinatra on Instagram. Over 1 million followers. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you.
Way, can I plug your book?
Of course.
It's called Happy is the New Rich. Now, how do you go from the memes, which I originally thought was pronounced memes, but it's, and you said, what am I, French?
It's not French.
In France, is it a meme?
Oui.
It is?
Yeah.
Here in Jersey and New York, it's a meme. And is this a bunch of memes?
They'd be like emotional memes, I guess, of some sort. They're all very short, concise directions or reflections that I collected over like 10 years of just trying to like figure life out. I didn't mean to write a book. I really had no intention while I was jotting these things down. I just, you know when you like think of something and you don't want to forget it and you think to yourself, that's so good, there's no way I'll forget it. And then 3 seconds later, you have no idea what the thought was.
Yeah.
I was ahead of that and I just started writing down everything.
So is that where the memes come from?
Yeah, it's a very similar process. It's like, it's either there or it's not. There's no writing.
What do you mean? Whoa. What do you mean there's no writing?
you do write, like you have to write the words, but it's not like a comedy writer where you come up with a premise and then you dig into the layers of it and you rewrite and rewrite. It's either like in the instant, it's there, or it's not. So it's very difficult to try and capture that and it's like impossible to force, but it's also very difficult for me to stop because when I see a picture, I think of a caption automatically.
Okay, so we're gonna put, can we put up some memes? Let's help us understand. Where is this? Guess whose son has made up gluten allergy?
Her son definitely has something made up wrong with him that she's using to keep him inside and safe. Look at her, man. She's what are you
What is
protecting
that?
from? Unless you're in the Nile at a soccer game, that is completely unnecessary.
Show me another one. I love this. Good. Okay, you got a Matthew Perry.
Oh, man.
Read that for us.
When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year, but so.
Why are you doing that to Matthew Perry?
Can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
So that's like my favorite meme I've ever made. However,
is the meme mean?
There is.
Was that meme mean?
I have mixed feelings about that meme because I have so much respect for him. It's my favorite because of the layout of it and the fact that.
Put it up again. While George's talking about, put it up again.
Most memes start with the word when, for whatever reason. So when this popped into my head, it was like, I got giggly because I was like, this is gonna be really funny. And it was funny. It's obviously the worst picture of him that's ever been taken. He doesn't look like that. I have a
good-looking guy.
Tremendous amount of respect for Matthew Perry with his struggles and everything he's been through.
Open about it.
Yes. Do I feel a little guilty about that? Yes, but I'm still happy with the finished product.
Well, I'm curious about this. Before we go to the Olympics, how the heck do you get 1 million plus people saying, yeah, I'm with you?
Oh, I don't know, man.
Yes, you do. You got to tell us.
If there was like a real...
By the way, Instagram, get some more PBS folks. You don't care if they...
No.
Tank Snatch, put it up.
I love
Instagram account.
I love PBS.
Go ahead. Of course you do.
So excited to be here. I'm not even kidding.
I was going to say hashtag. That's the wrong thing. What did you just say?
I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm very excited to be here. I'm a huge PBS.
So, okay, so when you get the picture of us together,
yeah,
what do you think?
Caption-wise?
Yeah.
Two studs.
I like this guy. You are so perceptive.
Yeah, I know. I know how to get people to
Okay, let's do the Olympics. I'm sorry. Can't wait to watch the...
You know who that is?
That's from Blaze and Glory?
Yeah, good, yeah.
I didn't know it when my producers just said it.
Oh.
Thank you, Jackie. Come on, seriously. So, some are funny.
Yes.
Some are just stone cold mean.
No, they're never mean on purpose. I don't make stuff that's mean for the sake of being.
Are you trying to be poignant?
Trying to draw humor out of anything. So sometimes it's like getting blood from a stone, but I will get it. There's topics that I will not joke about. And there's a whole subset of people online that make 9/11 memes and Holocaust memes. That to me is just distasteful and not funny. But yeah, if somebody's struggling, I think the best way to deal with it is to poke a little fun at it, myself included.
Do people steal your stuff?
Yeah.
How?
Do you want me to tell everyone how to steal it?
No. But how do you deal with it?
They screenshot it. They post it. It's something that I've given up on policing, to be honest with you. I've had a lot of good luck with credit in the past with larger accounts. They have credited me properly. It helped me grow my account tremendously in the beginning, which, to answer your question, how do you get this many followers? Right. Exposure, consistent quality, and just relentless, just nonstop. It hasn't been a day that I haven't posted in the past 3 years, at least.
Big team you got working for you?
Big me.
Stop, it's not just you. What do you got, like
me.
15, 20 people?
It's just me, Steve.
What about your people? Everybody's got people. Who are your people?
Me, myself, I draw inspiration from everybody, but nobody is touching my page. Nobody's making content.
That's all you?
All me.
What's Tank's Good News?
Tank's Good News is one of the best things I've ever done in my entire life.
Talk about it.
So when Hurricane Harvey was going on and the country was upside down and underwater, literally, there was a lot of tragedy and devastation and people were obviously upset. But what I saw was people coming to the aid of each other and being selfless and going to bat and putting their own lives on the line. And that's what I made an account dedicated not to the hurricane itself, but that was the impetus for it. And then I thought to myself, there's always something good going on. If the media, not to whatever, cast a wide net over the entire media, but largely they want people scared, so they tune back in because fear is exciting and it makes people want to find out what's happening next. So I just went the complete opposite way, and I think people get a really good, not warm and fuzzy. I'm not sappy or preachy. I'm not trying to, like, you know, be something that is impossible to attain. I'm a very human person. I have flaws and character defects, but the way that I combat it, or the way that I try and at least contrast all the tragedy out there, is by only posting good stuff, especially in the midst of a tragedy.
Real quick, I love the title of the book. Why should people get this book?
They should get that book because it's a very different experience, and I think any other book. There's a book called Salt, which is very deep. It's a little bit more poetry-based. This is just, you can open it, read it, you can open it to any page, any day, and get something out of it to carry with you.
Real quick, what's your new app? Go.
The new app is called Momus Meme Studio.
Spell that.
M-O-M-U-S.
M-O-M-U-S.
Yeah.
Meme
Studio.
Hey, you're good.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you coming in and spreading the good news.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
That's great, George.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Investors Bank, Holy Name Medical Center in Teaneck, New Jersey, Guarini Institute for Government and Leadership at St. Peter's University, the Turrell Fund, supporting Right from the Start NJ, United Airlines, the Northward Center, and by New Jersey Sharing Network. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.
Our world relies on secure digital systems. What's vulnerable? Everything. Infrastructure, finance, national security. Everything is connected, so everything is at risk. Cybersecurity experts are needed in every industry. St. Peter's University Cybersecurity Master's Degree Program and Premier Cyber Center identifies threats and combats attacks. To secure the future, be a part of building it with St. Peter's University Cybersecurity Program.